Carson Anderson, our weekly conversation with the Lions quarterback. Gator is out today. And Jared, how are you?
I'm great, guys. How you guys doing?
It's been an interesting day and change here. I'm talking to fans. You experienced it on Sunday, and now that you've watched the film, and upon further review, was it better than you thought, worse than you thought, about the same?
Yeah, never great when you lose in that way, and yeah, certainly a lot of things to work on and get better with, and yeah, you look at it and you learn from it just like you will with any win or any loss, and move forward. We've got another game coming up pretty quickly now, and have to get ready for, and it'll be another tough one.
What stood out when you watched the film, where you thought, well, that's something that we can and will correct easily?
You know, just most of the second half. I thought the first half went kind of exactly how we wanted it to, and had 4 good drives. They were derailed by some uncharacteristic stuff, and then the second half we really just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. Couldn't make the plays we usually do, and when that happens, it's tough to win games when you don't score in the second half.
I was going to ask you, did the Bears change anything at halftime, and you'd already said you shot yourself in the foot, but you didn't see it. It was nothing they did differently.
No, not really. They played really well though. They didn't change anything, drastically in the second half. We just simply didn't execute as we normally do.
Yeah. So do you feel like there's third quarter issues? I know the guys asked Dan Campbell about it this morning, but are there issues coming out of the halftime locker room that need to get addressed?
That's been a struggle area for us certainly this year, and it, ultimately, hasn't hurt us enough to, not have us have 9 wins right now. But yeah, it's been something that we've definitely talked about and focused on and want to emphasize. But I wish we could have an answer that why it happens or why it's been an Achilles heel for us, and we would fix it. But it's something that we're aware of and trying to stay on top of.
So I just did a big thing, why I really believe in this team being able to finish this season strong. And it's based on a big part of it is a different culture that we are seeing under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. I feel like you guys losing games and then going on winning streaks is an example of it. Do you sense a healthy football culture with the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of the backbone of our team and why we're able to respond so well from adversity and be ready to go. I think we've had those losses this year. We've had 4 of them. I think we've responded with a win every time, and I think I don't know the actual stat on that, but I believe it goes back to sometime last year as well. So yeah, we've since we kind of fixed things at whatever the middle point was last year. It seems like we've had a pretty good ability to bounce back and find ways to win games after losses.
Yeah, you guys actually averaged a 3-game winning streak after losses up until this exchange with Green Bay and Chicago, the 2 losses in 3 games. So you really have bounced back. What is the key to that? Like when you show up on Monday, is it easy to put the last game in the rearview mirror? There's no hangover effect. I mean, how is that? What is allowing you guys to do that?
Yeah, we're tough. We're a tough group, and we don't listen to outside noise. We don't ride the roller coaster, the emotions that often happens outside of our building, and we know what we're made of. We know who we are, and coming to work every day.
Yeah. We took calls from fans yesterday, suggesting, they need to do more of this, they need to do more of that. And one thing I've learned over the years, and I want to ask you about it, is you guys can call a play in the huddle. That's exactly what the fans are saying you need to do. But when you get to the line of scrimmage, a defense can give you a look or the play doesn't develop. How often does that happen during the course of a game?
Does what happen? That
you call a play. Let's say you call a deep shot, and then you break the huddle and look at the defense and go, well, this isn't going to work, and you change the play. Or the play is covered, the route is covered, so you do a dump. Because, I'll give you an example. Fans are calling saying they need to take more deep shots. And I'm like, well, they might call those plays. They just don't happen on the field for a variety of reasons. How often does that happen?
Sure. Yeah, well, we have a variety of play calls in the huddle usually. There's 2 or 3, and based on the criteria of what the defense is showing, we'll get into the correct one. And we're not just going to call a play to call it. We like to get into premier looks and call plays versus the premier defense that we want to go against. And so we're not just going to throw something against the wall and see if it sticks ever. That's in the run game, pass game, and it typically changes at the line of scrimmage based on what they do.
Dan Campbell said something this morning about the 4th and 1 call, that they gave you an unscouted look. When you're a quarterback and you see an unscouted look, what goes through your head?
Yeah, that's part of the game. It happens every week, and you'd like to be able to adjust and make it work regardless. But sometimes they get you, and sometimes we get them. So it happens every week. We have new plays in every week. They have new defense in every week. So it's nothing unusual for us.
Yeah, you guys had a 4th and 10. You had a completion to Donovan Peoples-Jones over the middle where you had a very small window to fit the football in. Take us through that play.
Yeah, I believe it was 4th and 3, and knew we had to kind of make something happen there, and got to the backside pretty quickly, and he ran a great route, was able to fit it in there, and he made a great play. I was glad to get him his first catch now going, and see what he can do from here.
Yeah. The other thing about the game on a positive note is they're a great run defense, and you guys were able to run the football reasonably well. I know you had to get away from it because of the score and the situation, but that offensive line did a good job. Your running backs did a good job. Talk about the success you guys had in the run game.
Yeah, we did run it well. We did. It's been a point of emphasis for us since the bye week, and something we've been doing well as of late, and something we absolutely want to rely on, especially coming down the stretch here. It's those teams tend to win, the teams that can run the ball late in the fourth quarter, and something that we need to continue to keep doing.
I imagine one of the frustrating things for you is the quarterback center exchange. On the TV, they said that it looked like it might have been a double clutch on the snap. Did you guys talk about that and make sure that it got corrected? And is that also an example of when you have a different center in there, stuff like that can happen?
No, I feel great with Graham. He's done a great job all year, and things happen, and we cleaned it up, and yeah, it's something we took care of on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. How much are you looking forward to getting Frank back? Is this the kind of thing that you are paying attention to, or does it even matter? You just show up and play with who you got.
Well, yeah, you'd love to have one of your best players back, but you don't control the scenario that he's in, and I know he's trying to get back as soon as he can, and if he's back, great. If he's not, then Graham will do a great job again, and yeah, I play with whoever's out there, and hoping he can be back, but you never know.
I was listening to your offensive coordinator last week, Ben Johnson, and he was discussing how after every game you kind of sit down and you look and you go, well, we didn't do this as much as we'd like, or we didn't do that as much as we'd like. When you look back at that game, is there something that you hope that you'll be able to do more moving forward that you just basically weren't able to do against the Bears?
Yeah, move the ball in the second half. I think that'd be the kind of easy answer. We did a good job in the first half of moving it and scored there on those last two drives, and I thought the end of the half scenario was really good. And then in the second half, for a variety of reasons and mostly our own fault, we weren't able to move the ball very well. And it's something I take a lot of pride in, is being able to obviously score points, and something I'm planning to get fixed this week.
Broncos coming up this weekend. That was a team that earlier in the year looked like they were going to be a mess, and then they have rallied. You mentioned the roller coaster. What have you seen from them in recent weeks?
Yeah, they're playing great ball. They're playing good defense, playing good offense. They're taking care of the ball. They're doing all the right things right now, and typically when that happens, you're able to win games. And yeah, they're playing well, and we'll come in with a lot of fire in them. They've got a good playoff opportunity in front of them with these next few games, and we need to come ready.
I did hear that after the game that the head coach, Dan Campbell, was pretty upset. Did he convey that in the locker room, the behind closed doors stuff? I mean, was it pretty clear that he was not happy?
Yeah, I mean, none of us were happy. It was a poor performance by all of us, and yeah, none of us were happy.
Yeah. So what are some of the points of emphasis this week? I know that a couple of weeks ago it was going to be ball security, and you guys came out and showed that in the New Orleans game. What are the points of emphasis this week, getting ready for this Bronco game?
Yeah, just getting back to what we do, and finding ways to do what we did in the first half for the whole game, and you finding ways to get back to who we are offensively and defensively, and play a complete game, play a together game, and complement each other, and do a lot of things that we were doing that got us on all these wins so far this year to get us to 9-4. We know we've lost 2 of the last 3, but how do we get back to that winning ways and finding ways to win?
Final thing for you, because I feel like I've spent the last 5 hours of talk radio talking fans off the ledge. Do you have a message for the fans that are really concerned right now? You mentioned the 2 of 3, because we're not used to this. We're not used to being at the top of the division. Do you have a message to the fans that are really concerned right now?
Yeah, well, we lost 2 of 3, I think, for the first time in about 20 games. So, yeah, we're going to be just fine. We're 9-4. We got a good stretch in front of us, but it starts this week with the Broncos, and we're excited to get back in front of the home fans. We expect them to bring a lot of energy and passion for us this weekend, and it'll be a lot of fun, man. It'll be fun to get back in front of them and hopefully get back on the win column.
Jared, thank you for your time. We appreciate it as always, and we'll talk again next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
There he is, Jared Goff, quarterback of the Detroit Lions, who joins us every Tuesday here on Carson Anderson on 97.1 The Ticket.